Yossi Landau is head of operations for the Southern Command of Zaka. It's 1 week that has gone by since Hamas invaded the communities that are near Gaza. A lot of death, a lot of horrific pictures the world is seeing. What has happened in this last week?
Wow, what happened the last week? So the last week, my team, I'm talking about my team, that it's 65 people in my team. We took together over 670 bodies. 670 bodies in 1 week. Was never my dream in the last 33 years that I joined, that I'm a part of the Zaka force. In 33 years that I saw everything. I can say I was all over the world. If we're talking about terror attacks, if we're talking 9/11 attack, if we talk natural disasters, but for civilians, 670, most of the 670 civilians were shot in the back for no reason, and most of them is youngsters. And we're talking about children, families together, or going in and see 2 piles of children were shot with the hands tied to the back and burned to death. It's more than accepted. That's more than we can handle it. And as I said, right now, I have my whole group, because we going in back tomorrow morning to finish our work, and we have still a lot of work. But you have to take something, you have to take them together and to see who was harmed. We all are human beings. We all people. We have a family. We go home to our family, and I am sure that this sceneries, this what we see is disturbance for everybody. I mean, I'm talking even for people that doesn't see that the horror but people, for sure, people that they see it, they came in and they saw a pregnant woman lying on the floor with a gunshot wound in the back, and her stomach is butchered open, and the baby that it's still not born is stabbed. And thinking, just in a quick second, just thinking, what happened first? Was the mother murdered first, or was the baby? To see something like that, and you have to come home to your wife and children, and we all have children, we all families. It's the worst that can be.
My heart goes out to you, and I mean that. My heart goes out to you. Yossi, this is very hard to tell, and I appreciate you sharing it. Not easy to ask, to be honest with you. How do you tell the world that what you saw is different? I mean, you started to, than anything you've ever seen.
How do I tell the world? You know, I'm used to terror attacks, to bombs, to buses that were bombed, and you see people. But you know, to come into a house, very normal house, beautiful, and to see the table is prepared for the meal. Okay, it was Saturday, it was a holiday. When I came in over there was Tuesday in that house, and I remind myself, well, I didn't eat that meal. That Saturday meal, I did not eat with my wife and children. And I'm looking that on one side there's the parents on the floor, hide with their hands tied to the back, and they were, I can tell you, they were abused. And in the other side of that living room, that dining room, two children, small children, the same position, and they made sure, these butchers, these terrorists, made sure that the parents should see how they attack the children, and the children should see how they attack them. And while then sitting and eating a meal that was prepared for this family, sitting and eating that meal. I don't know how to explain it for the world, but if somebody doesn't understand, and I was asked questions, that in Gaza, also children are being killed. Yeah, who's killing them? Who's killing them? Did Israel go in and invade that place and killing them? Or it's because the Hamas is launching missiles from their backyard and they were warned to leave that place, and Hamas doesn't give them the opportunity to leave their house, and they use them as live shields. So who's killing them? There's no one that came into your while a festival and killing people and shot them in the back and making them go on the ground and just shoot them in the back. So I don't understand. I don't understand if there's anything that I can. Is there anything more than I can explain, or the I don't know. I don't know. If I have to explain it, then either I am the wrong place or the world is in the wrong place.
Yes, see, are there still many bodies that are not accounted for?
I can't tell you how much, but there is, yes.
Are there some that'll never be accounted for?
They'll be accounted as not knowing their position, but we know they're missing. Yes, there's people that burned to their left ashes. And we're talking about families. They were pushed into one room. They were pushed into one room, a family of 5 with a dog. I saw it, and they were burned live to death.
What do you tell the volunteers that are working with you? That's very difficult.
It is difficult. I'm telling the volunteers that we're in a mission. It's not. It's a holy mission. It's in our religion, and it's a mission that we have to complete it. It's our brothers and sisters, and feel yourself. I remember when I was trapped in the 9/11 attack in the Twin Towers, and I almost died. I told for the person that was my partner, I was next to him, we would trap both. I'm asking you, I'm begging you, if I can make it out and you do, please let them know where I am. I want to get buried as our religion.
In what context were you there at the Twin Towers, Yossi?
I came as a rescuer.
And where are you from in the United States?
New York. I'm now 35 years in Israel. I live in Israel. I'm 33 years in this organization, Zaka, and I don't know. They say that I'm crazy, and all the people are crazy, that whoever works. But I see it as a national mission and a holy work. and we don't, and we do it for the same. We There's no difference by gender or by nothing. Christians, we have in our organizations Christians, Arabs, Muslims. We all join together because it's a national, it's a worldwide mission. Everybody, every family, there's a family in the back of every victim. There's a family that they want to have a place where to go to, and they want to know that they have been treated as a human, and that's what we do.
There must have been some bodies that belonged to the terrorists. Did
A
you?
lot.
And what happens in that situation?
With a heartbreaking, very, very heartbreaking, we deal with them the same thing like the civilians. It's the last mission, but we did it. Hundreds and hundreds of terrorists. We packed them in the bags. Yes, it's different bags. It's not the same bags in order to be recognized they're not civilians, and we give it over to the army. But we unfortunately, I would say, we have to give them the last respect too.
Your organization is a holy organization that picks up the bodies and the body parts so that they can be buried properly. And many people are not aware of what Zaka does. What is the next step? Because so many families are looking to identify through DNA, through other methodology, bone parts, even ashes, so they can bury their loved ones.
I promise that everybody, we will do everything, even it's going to take a month, 2 months, that we will be there and to collect every piece. We're going to lose our jobs. People are losing the jobs. People are volunteers. They're not going home. They don't see sleep. I have volunteers, and me myself, we lost a couple of pounds of weight in the last week because we know that we can't eat. If we eat, we go into any place, we're going to throw up. So we can't eat. It's the best for us not to eat. So we drink, and even though we drink, we throw up. But I promise, we're going to do the most. If it's not going to be 100%, it's going to be 99%. We're going to get everybody to have a grave and to have a place where their family should be able to come and say a blessing and give a blessing.
Unfortunately, Yossi, this is not the end. As we speak, there's a major operation going down that the Israelis are planning into Gaza. So I feel that your work is going to be something lengthy and difficult.
Correct. We know that.
Do you have enough volunteers to help with what you're doing?
I don't want to think about it. I don't want to think that I'll have to have more volunteers, because then it's a problem. Yes, I know we have in Israel 1,500 volunteers, and we have also from the army. But yes, I hope we're going to have all the manpower that we need, and we shouldn't have to use them all. And the main part of ours is the equipment. We just emptied out our equipment that was, in our view, was supposed to be good for 5 years, 6 years. We emptied it out in 5 days. And that's a mission now, to fill up, unfortunately, to fill up our warehouses and fill up our places that we should have our equipment that we need to keep up our work.
Yossi, I wish you a lot of strength, and may God be with you. It's a very difficult time, and I think that the world is looking at what's happening here. They're feeling for the Israelis. They're feeling for the civilians in the Palestinian territories. It's a very difficult time for all.
I can show you what we're doing right now with our. I'll go down 1 second,
Okay.
and you just have to see. Okay. Singing gives out a lot, and that's what we're doing now. After every volunteer just gave out to see and said what he has, what he saw. Now we have a little bit singing together, and that's gonna make them feel good and give them some strength and courage for tomorrow morning to start the new week.
Yossi, do you go and make sure that everyone gets some extra help, whether it's a psychologist they have to speak with? This is not an easy thing.
Correct, yes, we do that. I have this, and I can say in this week, I took out 3 of my volunteers from the force, from inside, because I see this. I'm a commander in this force, not very long time, and I can see it, and we work it properly.
Thank you very much for sharing this very important message of what's happened to those that were murdered brutally along the border of Gaza in many communities. And as I said, lots of strength and much thanks.
Thank you. I appreciate your courage and help, and it give us some strength.